on in. We are going to get started with a video. I am Tracy Palmer, West Virginia Black Excellence. Let's cue the video.
I had a conversation with a friend one day, and we was talking about family and life, and I asked him, how do you see your kid's future? And he said to me, my grandfather walked 10 miles to work every day. My father walked 5. I'm driving a Cadillac. My son is in a Mercedes. He said my grandson will be in a Ferrari. But he said my great-grandson will be walking again. So I asked him, I said, well, why is that? And he said to me, tough times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create tough times. He said to me, many will not understand, but you have to raise warriors. That's what Coach instilled in me, and so many like me. The strength and courage of a warrior.
So welcome to West Virginia Black Excellence. So I thought that video was a powerful way to start because we're here because we have to raise warriors. We have to raise warriors, young men and women. West Virginia Black Excellence is committed to doing our part in helping the next generation not walk again. So if you listen to the video, he said his grandfather walked 10 miles, his father 5. His son was driving a Mercedes. His grandson was driving a Ferrari, but his great-grandson will walk again. And he was saying that because tough times make warriors. And so we must learn from the past. As we grow, we must expose the next generation by showing them all aspects of leadership, not just the social media snippets of ease and outward success. Show them that leaders aren't perfect, but tough times create leaders, create warriors. Welcome, everyone. Hello, I am Tracy Palmer, the founder of West Virginia Black Excellence. It's funny, I still can't believe that this idea came one day from scrolling through Facebook. One Saturday, I was sitting at home scrolling through Facebook, and I thought I was simply scrolling, but God had different plans. In the span of a few hours, I saw 2 or more of my classmates doing amazing things in their professional and personal lives. At that moment, I realized how powerful it would be to share this same information with my network of native West Virginians, but more importantly, how inspiring it would be for the next generation of leaders. The hope and encouragement that could be generated by sharing journeys, knowledge, and advice from people who look like us, attended the same schools as us, and grew up in the same neighborhoods we grew up in. See, some of us left West Virginia vowing never to return. And sometimes we associate our upbringings and hometowns with pain. Many of my memories are filled with hope and carefree living of villages and communities coming together to discipline me, but also to celebrate me. Nearly 20 years ago, I was in escape from here mode, escape from West Virginia mode. A little boy on my hip and a whole world to leave behind, as here reminded me of dreams deferred, lost life, youth snatched away, opportunities not realized. As the years of not being here mounted, I realized that I left a community without the fruit of all it put inside me and ignored the call to come back and to give back. I started West Virginia Black Excellence to remind us that in our pursuit for there, that we do not forget about here, because here still needs us. Here needs us to stop watching things happen and be of impact by sharing our time, our talent, and our treasure. Here needs us to be a philanthropic arm where we were once benefactors. A movement can be started by one. And so I ask that every one of you join me one by one community by community, school by school, church by church, and let's make here, West Virginia, matter again. Erica, you are up next.
West Virginia is where we hail from, but our roots were planted in greatness. We are the heirs of kings and queens, but over time, we were stripped of our rightful legacy. Excellence means greatness, the very best. Achieving excellence is never easy to do. Excellence is a quality that people appreciate because it is too hard to find. We are excellent, raised in Charleston, Dunbar, Institute, and the belly of the beast, the bottom. We are not where we are from, but where we show up. We are doctors, educators, lawyers, pilots, sitting at the head of the table, not waiting for crumbs of inadequacy to fall to the ground. We are the smiles and the answered prayers of what our great grandparents wanted to see. Black is a mysterious color that is typically associated with the unknown or the negative. The color Black represents strength, seriousness, power, and authority. Please excuse us as we enter the room that holds our tomorrow and recognizes our past. Allow us to introduce ourselves from where we came to where we are going. Hello, we are West Virginia Black Excellence. Written by me, Erica.
What?
So West Virginia Black Excellence, our mission is to inspire and promote the next generation of leaders through exposure to models of excellence from West Virginia. Our vision is to cultivate and incubate community collaboration by creating and promoting positive opportunities and narratives of excellence that will provide inspiration for future leaders. Our core values are excellence, integrity, service, and collaboration.
Hello.
Okay. Next, I want to give a little bit of background about our founder and our board chair, Tracy Palmer, who is, of course, a native of West Virginia, who has poured into many people's lives. And I just want to give you a little bit of background about who she is and where she is now and where she is going. Tracy Palmer is a native of West Virginia. She has spent the last 20 years serving in many professional capacities throughout the profit and nonprofit sector. In that time, she has worked with diverse student populations in roles ranging from instructor to senior director to managing director to currently portfolio manager, all of which have allowed her the opportunity to mentor countless numbers of students. That mentorship and love for helping people realize their dreams was precipitated by her love for God. Growing up in a large extended family where her mother was one of 13 children, Tracy could be found hanging out with the Reese clan of cousins. That hanging out always consisted of Bible study, yes, Lord, and her grandmother's small home where she was taught about faith, family, and the value of prayer. It was there that her inner calling was nurtured and her hunger for Christ grew. As Tracy grew and matured, she overcame many adversities that could have ended her story. From domestic violence to teenage pregnancy to her parents' divorce. Tracy pushed forward, clinging to her foundation in Christ, introduced to her by her grandmother, the late Janice Reese Corbett. Today, Tracy uses the lessons from her path to empower others. She is currently the co-founder of Smoot Ave, an online fashion platform whose vision is to help women find confidence through clothing. She also founded West Virginia Black Excellence, a nonprofit dedicated to exposing future leaders to successful Black West Virginians. In West Virginia Black Excellence first year, they gave away 11 scholarships to rising high school seniors. In addition, in 2020, Tracy launched a virtual women's empowerment group called Broken Girls Do Cry. BGDC is a sisterhood of women who come together weekly to inspire and support women in a safe form anchored in Christ. Tracy Palmer is married to Dwight Palmer and is the mother of 2 children, Jawan Harris, 28, and Lauren Palmer, age 14.
Thank you, Erica, so much. It's so funny to hear people read your stuff. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't know why that's a leadership thing, but thank you, Erica, for the gracious introduction. So it is my pleasure and privilege to introduce our facilitator and moderator for today for our panel, Frank Walker. But here's a little snippet. Here's a little snippet of Frank Walker. So Frankie he's groundbreaking, y'all. Here's the work he's doing. So attorney Frank Walker, founder of Frank Law in Pittsburgh, is one of the most sought after criminal defense attorneys in Western Pennsylvania. Clients choose him for representation because of his ability to get the most for his clients. He is known and respected as a fearless criminal defense attorney who is ready, willing, and able to zealously defend the rights afforded in the Constitution. Frankie Walker began his career as an associate trial attorney for the Allegheny Office of Conflict Counsel in Pennsylvania. While there, he worked to defend indigent clients that were unable to be represented by Allegheny County Office of Public Defender, and handled hundreds of cases ranging from simple assault to murder. Eventually, Attorney Walker was elevated to the position of senior counsel for the office, where he handled Act 33 juvenile cases, appeals to the Superior Court of Pennsylvania and the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania. Eventually, he joined the litigation department of a medium-sized law firm, where he continued to focus on medium-sized, on criminal defense cases and civil litigation. In 2011, June 2011, he opened the Frank Walker Law, where he focused on criminal defense. His background, and this is just a little bit, y'all, of what Frankie has accomplished. He obtained his BS degree in criminal justice from West Virginia State University. He was awarded the Freshman Athlete of the Year. He was twice elected SGA president. He received his MA degree in Education and Leadership Studies from Marshall University, where he graduated summa cum laude, which is highest honors. He also has a JD from West Virginia University and was elected the president of the Black Law Student Association. I could go on and on accolades with Frankie. I want to share one that I think is really important. He was duly initiated through the Xi Alpha chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated in 1995, and he is still active. Frankie also, last but not least, serves on the board of trustees for Propel Schools in Pittsburgh. He can now be found volunteering for speaking engagements to address education, leadership, and legal issues. I present to you Frank Walker II.
Thank you, Tracy, for that kind introduction. Couple edits to that. I was initiated in 1999, and also I'm the founder of the Stoop. So we can just make sure, co-founder of, make sure we get that out there. Get that out there. All right, welcome everyone. I'm appreciative to be here. Thank you for your time for this afternoon. I know it's tough to get people to give their time and talents, especially on a weekday, but on a weekend afternoon, I know that's especially exceptional. So I want to turn now to our panel members. Let me see where we are. If you're not able to see the panel members, give me a text in the chat, or someone let me know and I can put them back up here.
Put them back up.
I put them back up. Here we go. All right. Can you see the panel members now?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So in order of appearance from top left to bottom right, if you could unmute yourself and introduce yourself and just tell a little bit about yourself. Let's keep it to 30 seconds, and that would be great. And then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of the session. So we'll start with the top left.
Tatiana or Tiana.
If not, we'll skip until they're able to get their audio together. We'll skip over to Mr. Chaban. I'm getting all these text messages saying that he's out there teaching line dancing. So
yeah,
we'll
he'll be joining
skip to
late.
my classmate. We'll skip to my classmate, Kawana Denson. Good to see you, Kawana.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you, Frankie. And of course, I would be first. And yes, I'm gonna try 30 seconds. Let me grab this real quick. So,
no problem.
So my name's Kawana Denson. First and foremost, thank y'all for the opportunity. It's a pleasure to be here in front of older classmates. This is good. So thank you. Originally born in West Virginia. I moved around. I've lived in Charleston and everywhere in between, all the way down to St. Albans. And after high school, I went to Marshall University, graduated with my master's degree, relocated to Corpus Christi, Texas, where I am now in December of 2002. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Wilhelmina Gripper.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wilhelmina Gripper. I'm super excited to be here and honored to be a part of West Virginia Black Excellence Experience. A little bit about myself. I was raised on the East End, or I like to say body, in West Virginia, because I wouldn't be here and be who I am today without the love and leading of our community. I graduated from Capitol High School, went on to earn my Bachelor's of Science in Mechanical Engineering, and then I like to call it my journey from success to significance. So the last several years, I've shifted from my engineering career to move as a social entrepreneur. And what I currently do is I'm a founder of a nonprofit organization. We are 501c3, and it's called 123 Jump. I currently reside in Concord, North Carolina, same place where our nonprofit is and where we serve. We have a fourfold mission of promoting health and fitness, fostering education, connecting families, and motivating communities. And we fulfill our mission by providing jump rope programs, camps, and classes for children ages 8 through 14. And that's my day job. And by night, I actually also run a nonprofit consulting technology company where we help position nonprofits online by doing three things. We do teaching and training, or training and development, We introduce them to smart automated marketing tools, as well as we use digital marketing strategies to help nonprofits attract their ideal donors, supporters, and volunteers online. So super excited again to be here, and thank you for the opportunity to serve on the panel.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I see that Mr. Chaban is in the room. If you can, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. If you can, encapsulate that into 30 to 45 seconds.
Name's Carl Chaban. I am the president of Rise Now LLC consulting firm. I have a lot of experience in education and community economic development. I'm just happy to be on the call. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Ms. Kellum?
Hello, everyone. My name is Ricky Kellum. Thank you all for having me as a panelist. I am originally from Dunbar, West Virginia, and I currently attend Tennessee State University, and I'll be a rising junior, and I am a psychology major.
Thank you very much. Brother Jackson.
Hey, Frank, thank you all for having me first and foremost. My name is Chris Jackson. I grew up in Institute Dunbar area, graduated from South Charleston High School. I am currently the interim assistant vice president of enrollment management and student affairs here at West Virginia State, where I've worked for about 22 years. That's about it for me.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Dr. Lewis.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Dr. Lewis, and I am a Louisiana native who's lived in Charleston since 2013. I've been an educator since 2005, and I earned my bachelor's degree in elementary ed. My master's degree was in curriculum and instruction, and my doctoral degree was in educational administration and leadership. And I'm married to Hollis Lewis, and together we have 4 girls. I'm currently a professor of education in West Virginia State University's Education Department. And through my work with the university, I mentor high school students who aspire to become teachers. And also through my work with Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, we are working on a mentoring program for young girls that focuses on college and career success, life skills, and also community service. And last but not least, I was crowned Mrs. West Virginia American 2021. And that's afforded me the opportunity to present my knowledge and passion for education on a larger platform, and also continue working to inspire students and help them find success. So that's a little bit about me.
Thank you very much. Ms. Clear.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tanya Clear. I grew up in Dunbar, West Virginia, graduated from South Charleston High School, home of the Black Eagles. Thank you so much for having me here today. I currently reside in Brooklyn, New York, and I attended Florida A&M University, where I majored in business administration. I also got my master's degree from New York University in public administration. I currently work for JP Morgan Chase in the corporate and investment bank. I'm a product manager in the merchant services division.
Thank you very much. Ms. Williams.
Hi, and thank you all for having me. I'm Tiffany Ellis Williams. I'm born, raised, and educated here in West Virginia. Graduated from Capitol High School. I then went to West Virginia State University to earn my bachelor's in political science. Then I went to Marshall University and earned my master's degree in political science also. Currently, I am the director of the Workforce and Economic Development for the Community and Technical College System of West Virginia. And I'm a mother of 3.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So I want to stop the share so I can see all these familiar and beautiful faces. Good to see everyone. Appreciate you being here. So let's start off with some simple questions that everyone wants to know. And this is to any of the panel members. Let me get my video here. Any other panel members, feel free to jump in whenever you want to. What is your shortcut for solving linear equations? Anyone can jump in. The look on y'all's faces. Chris is looking like, are you serious right now? Carl, you about to jump in? You about to solve that for us? You want to answer that for us? You have some audio issues. All right. So let's talk about we got that out the way. So give me some things you wish you knew then, growing up in West Virginia or coming to West Virginia as a college student. What are some things you wish you knew then that you know now that could have helped you? That's to anyone. If you don't want to answer, I'll go ahead and call on someone.
For me, I think, growing up in West Virginia, the communities are small. So you have a tendency not to be able to see beyond just your immediate community. And I wish I would have known then that the world is so much greater than the walls that we saw, whether it was in the high school walls or within our where we live, but the world is just so much greater, and understanding that our gaze is beyond just right where we are. And I think that's a big lesson that I've had to learn, and really I opened my eyes to that when I was in college. So if I would have known that before, I think the pressure that we put on ourselves in those younger years wouldn't have been so great.
Anyone else?
I wish this is Carl Chapman. I was coming from New Jersey. That's where I grew up, Salem, New Jersey. Very similar kind of area to Institute, kind of like the village feel. I wish I would have known all of the great individuals that went to West Virginia State. I stumbled upon that after being at State, but that definitely was the rich history of West Virginia State definitely inspired me, but I wish I would have had an inkling of that. I just kind of lucked up on it.
Anyone else? Tiffany, Chris.
No, I mean, for me, kind of like what Wilhelmina said, little bit different. I have family outside of West Virginia, so I never really thought of Charleston being this area that we couldn't escape, you know. But I do wish that, you know, I wish I was able. I wish I knew then how important it is to develop these relationships that we have here. You know, we take friendships for granted. As I look on this screen, there's Tracy and Bill and all these people I haven't seen for years. You know, Will, I mean, I haven't seen y'all for years. So again, as I see you all, I wish, you know, I knew then how important it was to develop these relationships that will last a lifetime. It's good to see y'all again.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? If I'm gonna keep calling on you, Tanya.
I see that. I think you're gonna pick on me here. Is a little opposite, I would say. You know, I did travel a lot. I was in different organizations like Inroads that kind of took you to many places. My parents, we went many places. So I think for me, it would have been of trying to keep more of us here, to build West Virginia, to build our communities. Nothing against anybody who has left, so please don't feel like that. I just wish we could. And Tracy, thanks for this, and your board members of even creating this, you know, your organization to put a focus on this. But, you know, in my workforce and economic development, you know, putting that hat on and working over 20 years in this, you know, 18 years of that, I've been doing business attraction. So trying to get companies to come here to create job opportunities for, you know, not only myself and my family, but, you know, for our communities. And so looking back, if just more of us would have just kind of band together, stayed here, use our talents, our education, and build our communities up, I think we could have what other folks have in some of these larger cities and in some of these, you know, rural cities too. So I'm kind of opposite of everyone else. You know, I still live here. I love it here. Love to travel, but I love to come back home where it's a low cost of living too.
I agree with Tiffany 100%. I oftentimes facilitate, or not facilitate, but encourage people to leave, or used to in the past, because the opportunities are so small in comparison to other states and other areas. But to Tiffany's point, looking at this screen and all the things that, you know, you all are doing outside of West Virginia, just imagine if you were able to do that here, how much better it would be for people that look like us. One reason I still work at West Virginia State is because people that look like us, that number is getting smaller and smaller for many reasons, you know. But West Virginia State, there's so much that I have to offer to this particular institution. I had offers at other schools, but I want to give my talents back to this institution that has given me so much. So again, I'm thinking about, you know, what Tiffany said, of all the things that you all are doing out of state. It would just be a phenomenal thing if you could have done it here in West Virginia. But I'm not mad at you for leaving. You know, God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing wherever you are.
All right.
We do have a campaign now. We have a campaign to get people back here. So.
So first I couldn't get you to talk. Now you just cut me off. Okay.
Yeah,
I got
see, because you keep on picking with me. Now
okay,
I'm going
okay. All right. Along those lines, we keep hearing, and I'm sure your parents told you this generation is different growing up. And now we're at the age where our parents were having those statements, and we have some of the similar sentiments. This generation is different. They are more tech savvy. They like to stay inside and do the games and all that other stuff. What information would you like the younger generation to know? Typically, the students who are on here today may be listening, may listen to it later on the recording and watch it. What information you think they should know regarding mentorship and also networking outside of just the Facebook and the social media?
If y'all don't mind, I work on the college campus, so I work with these 18, 19, I work with these young adults every day. Dr. Lewis, you do too. Everybody, yep. First thing I would tell them is learn how to communicate, learn interpersonal skills. That's the first thing that I would tell these students. All they know now is this. They carry on a conversation far better on this device than they can face to face. And that's where a lot of problems, a lot of issues arise. I would tell them also to align themselves with somebody older than them that they admire, that they see themselves wanting to model themselves after. A lot of these students look at YouTube and social media for their role models or for their advice or for, information that they need when they should be seeking that, in the church or at a higher education place or things of that nature. So I would tell them to align themselves with someone that they admire, someone that they can reach out and touch and or talk to, and learn how to communicate effectively.
And kind of along those lines, I would definitely say, reach out. If you see someone who you admire, reach out. Like, we are willing to help you in any way. I mentor several girls just because they've reached out to me or their parents have reached out to me on social media. So we're more than willing to help. And also regarding the tech savvy, I will beg to differ. They are cell phone savvy. They are not tech savvy. Like, when I get my students, I have to teach them basic Microsoft skills, basic PowerPoint skills, because they aren't tech savvy, they're cell phone savvy. So definitely when you're in high school, when you're on YouTube, use YouTube to learn how to use technology in a meaningful way.
Not tech savvy, Dr. Lewis, text, T-E-X-T.
Text savvy.
Text. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I'll jump in there and offer one thing. I think the relationships are very important. I think mentorship is critical. I think you need to have multiple mentors too, not just one. I think you need to make sure that your mentors are diverse. You need men, you need women, you need people, racial diversity, like broaden the scope and ensure that you have people who kind of tap into different aspects of who you are and where you want to be. The other thing that I think is really important for this generation is your brand, right? And it's something that when you're young, you don't necessarily think about. But I think that everybody on this call is of the age where when we grew up, although people took pictures, we didn't have to worry about them being plastered somewhere for everyone to see for ages and ages and ages of time. So I think that the young people need to be a little bit more cognizant of what they're posting on social media, what they're posting in videos, and allowing to become a part of the internet domain. Because when it's time to get a job, when it's time to apply to school, and people are searching for you, they're doing Google searches, and they do, that the images that you want to portray 5 years later, 10 years later, 15 years later, is what's represented when they do those searches. So just be very mindful of that.
Yeah, and I would like to add, as a first-year college student, I've been exposed to the importance of networking firsthand. I'm not gonna lie, at first I was nervous to put myself out there, but I quickly realized that if I don't put myself out there, that's going to limit me in the long run. So I'd advise upcoming college students to expose yourself. Be direct when talking about your aspirations and your qualities, because you really never know who someone is and the connections that that's going to bring to you. And to add on to what Mrs. Clear is saying, it is so important to realize what you are putting out about yourself, because like she said, everyone is looking at you, especially when you are going into certain fields and certain organizations.
One thing that I would say, Ricky, those were great remarks, first of all. But I would say also echo the same sentiments of what have been said around the table here. You want to have a smarter than you crew. You've got to have some people that can hold you accountable, that can check you on your attitude and when you think you know it all. These people genuinely want to see your best interest. They don't have anything against you. So it's always advisable to have a smarter than you crew. Usually that's going to be made up of family, but it's also going to be made up of people who are in fields that you aspire to be in. Maybe you don't have it all figured out as far as where you want to go, what path you want to take. Therefore, have as many people in different fields just to get a variety and diversity of perspective. So I would definitely challenge them to do that. I would also challenge young folks to not be afraid of giving yourself some time, right? So we live in a kind of microwave society where you got to know what you want to be today. Like Ricky's got to know what she wants to do today. You know, the last statistics showed that your average college student changes their major 5 times. So don't be afraid to pivot. All right, pivot isn't failure. It's okay if you initially want to go into something and you find out that that major is a little bit tougher than what you thought, you need to pivot into something else. As long as you're moving forward, that's success. A pivot is not failure.
Yeah, I want to follow up on what Carl said. I have a daughter who is a freshman at Temple, and grades just come back, and she's, you know, she didn't get where she wanted to be, and I told her, I said, I've been a lawyer for 2005, I believe, and not once have I walked into a jail cell where someone's charged with murder, and I'm helping them out. Not once have they asked me, "Hey, what was your GPA in undergrad?" Not once. Not once have they asked me, you know, where I graduated from as a master's degree. They don't ask those questions. Point I'm trying to make is that do the best you can. Don't get discouraged because you didn't get the 4.5 or you're not with the 4 point on top of the class. The person who graduates at the top of medical school is called a doctor. The person who graduates last is still called a doctor. But you have to be able to get those relationships where you're being mentored. You get the support you need to be the best version of yourself. A lot of these students are getting so discouraged because they didn't get a 3.5. Oh, I need to drop out. That's my first B. I can't go here. I need to drop out. No, like Carl mentioned, you just have to continue on persevering and just be the best version of yourself. Any other comments on the pivot after failure? That was really good.
I just wanted to add in. I know I'm not supposed to be talking. I'm not part of this panel, but
you're not. But go ahead.
I think what's important, I think Carl alluded to this when he was talking, and I would love for each of the panelists to just chime in on this, but let's talk about failure. Because here's the thing, we see the next generation sees us in all our glory. We got on our suits, we got on our ties, we got our titles, we got our businesses, but we don't talk about the in-between. So from, you know, where we started to where we are now, we rarely talk about the in-between. I know if it was not for my failures, I will not be able to sit in the seat that I sit in and be able to give expertise and knowledge exchange to the next generation. So I would love for those who are transparent and vulnerable enough to put it out there. Tell us about a time when you failed and you were able to pivot and how that experience helped you or helped someone else on the journey.
Well, okay, so me. As again, you know, work at West Virginia State, I was the interim director of recruitment for about 5 or 6 years. This is when Dr. Carter was still president of West Virginia State. When he left, we got another president, and you know, he made some changes when he came, and he moved me to student activities. I felt at that time that was a failure on my part that he removed me because I was not doing the job up to par, up to his standards, or should I say. So for a minute, I was very discouraged. I was very, quite frankly, upset. And I actually thought about a career change because I felt like it was a demotion. I went from a director of, you know, recruitment to now I'm planning daggone bingo with college students. That's, you know, that's the way I took it. But the way God is set up, you know, I was demoted, if you will. But I was able to pursue a doctorate degree while in this position. In this position, I have more free time, I have more flexible time. So as we speak, I'm in my office now working on my Chapter 5 edits. I hope to defend by the beginning of June. So, you know, failure is a part of success. There is no celebrity, there's no person of any type of recognition that has not failed once, twice, 10,000 times in their life. If you have never failed, you will not be a success. You have never failed, you will not be a success. It is a part of the journey. You should embrace it. The important thing is that you learn from those mistakes and push forward.
I'd love to share. That's why I always like to say over the years, I call it my journey from success to significance. So many don't know I founded 123 Jump in 2006. And I thought it was the ministry that the Lord had called me to, and I'd be doing it for the rest of my life. And there was a season that the doors closed, and I truly didn't understand. And at that time, I thought it was a failure. I didn't realize that he had other things in store. And so the period that there was me not doing this nonprofit, he opened another door. Again, I told you my night job, or by day and by night, I do the nonprofit consulting. But what happened was, in the midst of the doors closing for 123 Jump, another door began to open. And I have traveled and trained all over the globe, 6 continents, teaching technology. Had the nonprofit still been going, I would have not had those opportunities. And the amazing thing is, again, just the plans for our lives. And I was, if I could, in the midst of talking about just understanding the power of our gift, we're talking about our brand, but your gift makes room for you. And so I truly believe where I'm at today is really my sweet spot. So I have the nonprofit experience and I have 20 years of technology experience as well. And so I now have the privilege of serving the community that I'm most passionate about serving through my consulting, but I also get to serve alongside the nonprofit community through the nonprofit. And so I wouldn't have had that opportunity had one door not closed and me kind of fail forward and moving into where I'm supposed to be right now. So it is absolutely part of the journey, and hopefully you will find your sweet spot or that place where you can serve and feel successful at the same time and just enjoy the journey in the process. So.
Thank you. We'll take one more on that, and then I'll ask for like parting words, parting advice.
Let me chime on that as far as failure. Be careful of your mindset. Sometimes these things aren't failure; they're more fodder. You know, they're more fuel. My father would always tell me, "You've got early starters and late bloomers, so you should never be envious of where somebody is by what time. Run your own race." I am a serial entrepreneur. I start things, I leave them. I've been a teacher, certified principal, life insurance, or insurance agent, now mortgage loan officer. The purpose of, the meaning of life is to love and to be loved. The purpose in life is to survive. So however you need to survive.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So panelists, I'll go one by one and let you offer any parting words of advice to the recipients and the young high school students, or even the college students right now. One piece of advice that you would want to give to them moving forward. So I see that Tayana, am I pronouncing that right? I saw her name log on.
Yes, Tatiana.
Tatiana. Oh, wait a minute. I may be looking for someone else. I apologize. Well, let's do this. Let's start with Kawana, and just give us one piece of parting advice.
One piece. I have to say confidence. Just have confidence in what you do, because there's always, again, going to be failure. I believe failure is it is success in progress, and so you can expect to fail, and that at times can cause us to have a lack of confidence in moving forward. So my parting words is just have confidence, and just know that failure will happen. However, it all depends on how you deal with that failure. Will determine your where you are.
Thank you. Wilhelmina?
My parting advice, I always love to say, because we're in a world where, there's a lot of competition. People do some of the same things you do, and how do you stand out from the rest? I believe that you are the factor. You are the key. No one can do it like you do. The world needs you. And so always remember that. As I said, if your gifts make room for you, it's not necessarily about what you do. It's about who you are in the world. And you will always have a space, even if someone's doing the same things that you're doing. They can't do it like you can. So keep being you.
Thank you. Ricky. Miss Kellum, I apologize. Miss Kellum.
No problem. My parting words would be to accept challenges. Don't be confined confined to normality. Who you are right now is not going to be who you are in a year or when you graduate college or in 5 years. But just to challenge yourself, don't like Mr. Shaban said earlier, surround yourself with people who also have that mindset, that challenging themselves mindset, and people who aren't like you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
I think I would just say to believe in yourself. Oftentimes we look for validation from other people, and you don't need that. If you believe in yourself, that's all that you need. Do not be a victim to the imposter syndrome. You are where you are because that's where God has put you. Don't second guess yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Embrace where you are and just believe in yourself, and everything will take care of itself.
Thank you. Dr. Lewis.
One piece of advice that I often talk to my students about is taking care of their mental health. And so what I would say is take care of your mental health. I think like now, because of COVID happened, people are more willing to get help, but definitely take care of yourself. There are a lot of resources on campus, even if you're in K-12 or in higher ed, reach out and get the help that you need.
Thank you, Ms. Blair.
Just a couple of really quick things. Find out who you are, like who you are really, instead of sort of like these images and thoughts from other people about who they think you are. You know, I think that self-awareness and understanding who and what you're about and what you like, what drives you, what motivates you is so critical. You don't want to get to the end of your life and still not know who you are. And find out those things that make you happy and those things that bring you joy, and then do it. And then just some real practical things. Read continuously, newspapers, books, whatever. Travel, get your passport, travel the world. And then just when you set goals, when you decide you're going to do something, and it's something that is sort of a long-term goal, make sure you're checking in with yourself constantly about that. You know, have people who are going to hold you accountable. I think that was mentioned earlier, but move with intention. So I'll leave you with that.
Thank you, Ms. Williams.
Well, everyone has said what I wanted to say, so I'm just going to end it on this note, is to definitely put God first. No matter what your religion is, put God first. Whatever challenges you may be facing, your wins, your losses, whatever you have, put God first. Continue to pray for your successes, pray for your failures, pray to learn. And one thing my dad had always said to me, and I say to my children, is never stop learning, no matter what it is in life. If you want to be a cake decorator, or you want to be an educator, a lawyer, wherever you want to be, never stop learning in life. Enjoy life and never stop learning.
Thank you. I think I got everyone except for Mr. Chadban. So if you want to finish this out.
All right. Know thyself. It was said earlier, I think by Sister Clear, get to know who you are. You can find that out in meditation. You can find that out with your Smarter Than You crew, but also looking at your birth chart, life path number, things like that. I would also say stop chasing the bag. Realize that you are the bag. Once you realize that, you can focus on abundance. It'll come to you. If you focus on failure, you're drawing your thoughts. So focus on abundance.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the panel members. I got right at the 250, which was my mark. So we're going to move to the Trailblazer portion. And before I turn it back over to, I think it's Tracy, I'm turning it back over to. A Trailblazer is a person who blazes a trail for others to follow through unsettled country or wilderness, or AKA a pathfinder. So Tracy, I'm turning it back over to you.
Thank you, everyone. Love the inspirational vitamins as well as the advice. I think it is so important, like many of you said, that we're sharing this information, that we're not in a bubble, and that we're not just living our best lives, you know, in people's eyes and not being able to give back, because knowledge transfer and exchange is key. I would love to keep this moving. So I'll be reaching out to each of you for collaboration, because it means nothing if we have this conversation and we leave it here. So again, thank you for your time, for giving up your time, your treasures, and your talent. We appreciate you. So the next voice you're going to hear is in honor of our Trailblazer, Preston Hall Jr. So Erica Boxley, you are up.
Hello, everybody. Once again, I'm Erica Reese Boxley. I have the privilege and the honor of introducing Preston Hall Jr. And I'm not sure if everybody on this line is familiar with who Preston is, but Preston was our DJ extraordinaire. If no one has never moved, they did the snake, the prep, the walk. I'm pretty sure it was in the midst of Preston behind the DJ table. So Preston, we want to take the time to honor you. And I just want to go over a few words, a few accomplishments that you have definitely instilled in being a West Virginia Trailblazer. Preston Hall Jr. is one of the Tri-State's premier music party video DJs with more than 30 years of entertainment experience. His early exposure to the DJ industry was through events he attended with friends and frequently visiting his cousins in New Jersey and Cleveland. His trips out of West Virginia allowed him to keep up with the latest trends and music before it even reached West Virginia. While he was there, he would record all weekend rap music mix shows. Y'all young people don't know nothing about that. When he would come back, he couldn't wait to go to the park and blast all the new music that he heard. People began calling him the DJ before he even touched the turntables. The energy and the vibe was created, and it had him hooked. He began experimenting using his mom's home stereo. He liked what he could do, but he knew he would need turntables to make things work. Later, his dad gave him and his brothers used turntables. He did a few parties locally. Then while in New Jersey, he got his first big party experience when the DJ asked him to take over while the DJ went to get some drinks. He was nervous, but he knew that this was an opportunity he could not pass up. He drew from his inspiration from the local DJs from West Virginia like DJ Quick, DJ Hands, and Cubs to make his music selection. When people continued to party without even knowing the DJ had changed, he knew this was something that he would enjoy doing. When the rink closed, the same DJ offered him his extra equipment for free. He brought all his equipment back home like it was bars of gold. From there, he started DJing more French parties, local nightclubs, and events at the local park in Dunbar. Y'all know how it used to be on Sundays, don't act. Now, at each event, he would meet a few people who needed a DJ for an upcoming wedding or an event. He was able to accumulate a variety of equipment through his hard work and persistence, along with word of mouth and referrals. Those opportunities allowed him to work along with some of the best promoters and travel all over the Midwest and East Coast to open as a guest DJ in some of the hottest concert venues. One thing he noticed early on was this was an ever-changing industry. If he wanted to be successful in such an industry, he must be able to consistently find ways of changing and reinventing himself, along with offering additional services. He used his knowledge to event production to start other companies in the early 2000s. Audio and lights to handle the event production and high-class photos, and entertainment photography and photo booth rental company. Though he loves playing in nightclubs, parks, and special events, his love for music goes beyond the spectrum of mixing tunes. He sees his job as being a big filter and strives to be more than just a DJ. He loves using his knowledge to assist other upcoming DJs and helping local and global promoters and community members pull off major events, of all magnitudes. DJing now for half of his lifetime, he is still passionate about each and every event at it as it was his very first. We honor you, Preston Hall Jr., I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Is there anything you want to say right now, Preston?
Oh man, I'm very grateful for everything y'all doing. I said we all grew up together. We was in each other's backyards playing. So it's amazing to see y'all do y'all's thing. Y'all use the social media to y'all's best advantage. You don't see me. I'm more of a voyeur, so I'll just watch everybody. But I've always been behind the scenes, helping people doing events here. Like I said, I got to travel a lot. I work for a lot of colleges. I'll be working at 8 tonight, you know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate being recognized, and I appreciate everybody that's even on the panel and other nominees. I mean, they're Trailblazers. They're, they're all great people. I've worked with them, know them, most of all y'all, most of my life. I really do appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna keep striving as far as I can go. Like I said, y'all need some help. I'm there to help y'all.
Thank you so much, Preston. It's such a privilege to see childhood friends grow up and go and get it. You're not limited to where you came from. It's all about that mindset that Chad Band talked about earlier. Thank you so much. So next up, we will have Mickey Owens, who will be presenting to Bob Thompson.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so thankful for this opportunity to present this Trailblazer Award to Mr. Bob Thompson. We were all blessed to go to school with Brookie and Michelle, and I'm just thankful for this opportunity to still be connected decades later. So I'm going to read his bio. Bob Thompson, jazz pianist Bob Thompson, has enjoyed a long and active career as a performer, composer, arranger, and teacher. For decades, he has played in West Virginia and at festivals and venues around the country, including the Blue Note in New York, Blue Alley in Washington, D.C., and the Newport Jazz Festival in Saratoga, New York. He has also taken his music to Europe, Africa, and South America. Bob Thompson has also been a guest on Marion McPartland's Piano Jazz on National Public Radio. Since 1991, Bob Thompson has been pianist and regularly featured artist on West Virginia's NPR syndicated radio show Mountain Stage. For the past 29 years, he has also been co-producer and host of Joy to the World, a holiday jazz show featuring Bob's band, and each year a special guest vocalist. The show is broadcast on public radio stations nationwide and heard internationally on the Voice of America. Bob was born in Jamaica, New York. He migrated to West Virginia to study instrumental music at West Virginia State University with trumpet as his major instrument. While in college, he began playing jazz piano. After winning awards at the Notre Dame Collegiate Jazz Festival and subsequent State Department tours abroad, he decided to pursue a career in jazz. His recordings on Capitol's Intima label and Ichiban International received high recognition on the national jazz charts, with some reaching the top 10. Musicians who have recorded with Bob Thompson include John Blake, Kevin Eubanks, Omar Hakim, Larry Correll, Gerald Beasley, Chris Dave, Jean-Paul Broley, Dwayne Dolphin, and Rodney Holmes. Bob Thompson, live on Mountain Stage and Smile with the Bob Thompson Unit are on his own label, colortones.com. The latest recording by Bob Thompson's band, Look Beyond the Rain, is on Blue Canoe Records. Bob has received an honorary Doctor of Humanities degree from West Virginia State University and an honorary Doctor of Music degree from the University of Charleston. In October 2015, Bob was inducted into the West Virginia Music Hall of Fame. A lot of accomplishments. Thank you for sharing your gift around the world, Mr. Thompson.
Thank you, Mickey. This is really an honor. I'm just so honored to be a part of this group of honorees. I've had, most of them I've admired for years, and I see actually Preston Hall, who was just on. I've run into him many, many times. In fact, recently we've worked together on many stages, and he's always out there trying to make me sound good. So, but I just appreciate this honor and everything that you're doing, because we really need to lift this up and inspire our young people. But I came here with that thought today, but I'm the one who's inspired. I was listening to this panel discussion, and so many of the points that were brought out are so relevant to what I've done in my career. We talk about failure and things like that. I just want to relate one experience. I was just out of school at West Virginia State, and I took some music that I had recorded with my band to New York, and I was in the office of Henry Jerome, who was president of United Artists, and he listened to my music and he said, "Yeah, it's very nice and everything, but if I wanted to put this music out, I could make a few phone calls. This is New York, and I could have this out on the street in 2 weeks." He said, "But come back anytime you want to come back." He said, "But when you come back, bring something that if I want to produce it, I have to have you." And I for that moment, that was a failure. I came back to West Virginia thinking I had failed, but not realizing that I had received the biggest lesson that I had ever received in the music business. And that was just, it goes along with what I've heard in this panel discussion about being yourself. And if you are yourself, there's no one else like you. And that's the only thing you have to offer in the music business is being yourself, because as you know, when you listen to someone on the radio or so forth, if you can tell who they are by just listening to the first couple of notes, then they really have something to offer. But that's something that just transcends all fields. Do your thing, be yourself. And but one other point I wanted to make, and that was just that a lot of people think because I play jazz and that I'm originally from New York, that I learned to play jazz in New York, but I learned to play jazz in West Virginia. And there were so many people here in the Charleston area that helped me. And some of them, most of them have gone, like the late Francis Taylor, the late Frank Thompson, Ann Baker, who was a wonderful singer, but H.S. Rabbit Jones is still here. And he still lives on the west side of Charleston. And he was a person who inspired me and really caused me to love the music, because I saw how much he loved it, and it worked its way down to me. So what I try to do, and I know and the same thing that this is all about, is passing that on to the next generation, because that's the only way we keep our music alive, is passing it down from one generation to the next. And just to be here with Rosalyn Ellis, she's a person who I admire, because she has been a mentor to so many young musical minds.
Sorry,
and
could you say that again? My apologies. I couldn't hear what you said.
That's my watch going off there, I'm sorry. But I'm an admirer of Rosalyn Ellis because, in fact, some of the musicians in my band were mentored initially by Rosalyn Ellis. So just to be on this same group of honorees with her is quite an honor. But I thank you for everything you do with this Black excellence, and it's something that we need to really showcase. And anything I can do to help anyone in any endeavor, I'm glad to be there for you. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Mr. Bob Thompson. We appreciate those words of encouragement. Next up, I will be introducing the Trailblazer, Miss Rosalyn Ellis. I have the pleasure and the privilege and the honor to do this as a former STARS member and student from South Charleston High School. I will be reading just a snippet of Miss Rosalyn Ellis's bio. You can find her full bio on the West Virginia Black Excellence Facebook page. Rosalyn Ellis was born and raised in New Roswell, New York. She graduated from New Rochelle High School in 1971. She was a cheerleader and she sang in the choir, amongst many other activities. She had a love for music. She was a vocalist, soprano from the group Bachclave, and she was also a composer, conductor, and a vocalist for the school jazz band. Her love for music expanded outside of school and allowed her to be in numerous bands, traveling all over the world and performing. She was accepted into the West Virginia State College, where she was a vocal teacher because of her love for performing. She also joined a band called King Sound, and you might know her from the band that was very popular called Windjammer, and they performed in various venues and regattas, country clubs, hotels, festivals, you name it. This band was very well known. They also performed in front of many groups, the Temptations, Starpoint, Commodores. The band just continued to perform in front of nightclubs, weddings, governor events, private parties. They just traveled all over the country and the world. Rosalind earned her Bachelor's of Science in Music Education from West Virginia State College, and she continued her education at Marshall University, where she received her Master's of Art in Special Education. She then, after her music career, she then started at Kanawha County Schools in 1985, where she worked with students in the behavioral disorder program at Roosevelt Junior High School, as well as South Charleston High School. Miss Ellis, due to the pandemic, ended up retiring in 2020, and she is now residing in Connecticut with her mother, who is 97 years old. And just want to also point out that she developed a program to help students, as you heard Bob Thompson talk about her love her students and how she helped them. She was over STARS, which I was a member of STARS, and she developed a program called ALC, which is the Alternative Learning Program. They used a lot of technology and allowed students who were having a lot of trauma and stress issues to become more successful in helping with the graduation rate in school, which ended up increasing. So just want to point out those accolades for Miss Rosalyn Ellis, who's had a lot of accomplishments over the year. And we're just so honored to have her. She was awarded the Teacher of the Year in 2007 and 2008. And all the students at South Charleston just love her, and myself, I love and honor her, and just glad that she's able to be a part of this today. So we thank you. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Miss Rosalyn Ellis.
Okay, I gotta put it on mute, I think.
We can see you.
Oh, you can see me?
Yes, we see you and your mom, and there's somebody else there with you.
Okay, I got my sisters and my brothers over here, and they don't want to come in. But I thank you, Tasha. It's been an emotional day for me. I'm still crying because I'm seeing all my babies talking on this web. It's amazing. Coming here from New Rochelle, New York, was a different experience for me to go to West Virginia. Okay. When I first got there, I was ready to come back home, and I asked my mom, "Can I come back home?" And she told me no. And so I really, really enjoyed my life there. I have to give God the glory. He took me through the hills and the mountains of West Virginia on foot, I have to say, and brought me back home safely. The hills of West Virginia it's a very special place. It's a small community, but it's a loving community. The people around you are so enjoyable to be around. It's a place that you'll never ever forget. And I'm so glad that she refused. Now I'm going to say thank you again to her at the age of 97, and happy Mother's Day, Mom. I thank you to Tracy. I can't believe that you began this Trailblazer. I can't believe the committee, Mickey, all of you that are there. I'm just so overjoyed with what you all have created there. It's amazing, because I used to watch y'all come in school with your books and all that and just wonder what you would be. And now I'm seeing it, and it's so enjoyable to see this. And I thank you for this honor today. I'm just overwhelmed and joyful. Tanya, everybody's there. Miss Ellis, I can't believe all these people were involved on the panel there, but thank you so much. I'm very emotional right now. Thank you, Bob and Preston, for making music with me.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Ellis. I certainly, growing up in the community, it was very rare for us to have African-American, especially in women teachers. And so we're just very grateful for you and grateful to your contributions and the legacy that you've left here and the imprint that you left in West Virginia. So thank you again. So I have the pleasure of talking about and introducing our next Trailblazer, which is Mr. William H. Harding. William H. Harding received his bachelor's degree in criminal justice with a concentration in legal studies from Marshall University, where he graduated magna cum laude in 1993. His enthusiasm for the law and desire to help others led him to attend West Virginia University College of Law, where he was selected to the West Virginia University College of Law Moot Court team and placed third nationally in the 1995 National Moot Court competition. In 1996, William received his doctorate in jurisprudence from the West Virginia University College of Law. Also in 1996, he successfully passed the West Virginia State Bar examination and opened the law offices of William H. Harding in Charleston, West Virginia. After just a few years of practice, he developed a strong interest in the areas of personal injury, criminal law, and medical malpractice. The hard work and dedication to provide his high-quality legal services to the residents of West Virginia led William to a successful practice. In 2010, William expanded the law offices of William H. Harding to North Carolina, where he opened another law office in Charlotte. Soon, with the support of so many and God's blessing, the law offices of William H. Harding would open a second and then a third office in North Carolina. For more than 12 years, his law office has provided passionate, competent, and effective legal services to so many North Carolinians. He has also gained the respect of the legal community and has been recognized as one of the country's prominent litigation firms. This year, William H. Harding was selected the 2022 nationally ranked Top 10 Attorney Award by the National Academy of Personal Injury Attorneys. And to date, the law offices of William H. Harding has recovered more than $80 million for his clients involving personal injuries and civil rights. William also has taken pride and found it a privilege to give back to his community, focusing primarily on causes centered around our youth. William has dedicated himself to helping others with his deeply intricate and nuanced knowledge for the practice of law. His decades of legal experience, intersecting with his passion to promote equality, justice, and fairness in our society, has allowed William to become a respected legal advocate and problem solver throughout his country. So again, it's my honor to introduce and award our next Trailblazer recipient, Mr. William H. Harding.
Good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, I want to thank the West Virginia Black Excellent Committee for honoring not just myself, but for all these amazing people that I've known very, very closely throughout the years. I can say that I'm just so humbled, and I don't know how you threw me in this hat with such folks such as Bob Thompson and Preston and all these good folks, but I'm humbled, and I hope clearly that the work that we have done continues, and that we live up to being a trailblazer that is being recognized today. I grew up well, I was born in Indiana, but I became a man in West Virginia. And I graduated from Stonewall. I think now it's a middle school, I believe, but I graduated from Stonewall. That's before, obviously, there was Capital. And as Jennifer indicated, went on to Marshall and then College of Law at West Virginia and whatnot. I would like to thank, first and foremost, God, because, and we say that so anecdotally, but obviously he gives us everything that we need to live, and clearly prepares a place for us after we leave this earth. But I would love to focus the majority of my time with respect to my thank yous to my mom. As we all know, tomorrow is a special day for all mothers and women across this country. Unfortunately, my mom passed away. Well, excuse me, February 3rd. Excuse me. So this will be the first year without her, and I know that excuse me, I would not be here without her. Excuse me. So she is obviously has inspired me and given me purpose. So you know, I just honor her because I know that I would not be here, and my life would not be. I would not be the person before you. I clearly wouldn't be receiving an award today. So she obviously was my toughest critic, but my biggest fan at the same time. And it's something. I don't think it's ironic that I'm receiving this award today, day before Mother's Day, but truly it belongs to her. So I think. So I thank this West Virginia Black Excellence for highlighting the not just the contribution of myself and my firm, but so many people. And I will say that I was so impressed by the panel discussion. And I don't say that lightly. I've been in panels and things across this country, whether it's through American trial lawyers, other things. but I've never listened to a panel that was so compelling. And you should have saw me. I'm sitting here writing down all these nuggets that I'm gonna have to send somebody a check, because I'm going between Chris and Chad and Wilhelmina. I just couldn't believe the amount of the wealth of knowledge. And to Chris's point, while it's a blessing to pursue our careers and to move on the same token, it is sad that so much talent and treasure has left West Virginia. And I tell anyone that will listen that I would not be the person I am but for the fact that my mom moved us to West Virginia, and I learned so much, not just to become a man, but to be a human being that understands compassion and empathy and respect for our community. And I learned so much of that from so many of you. So I thank you. And again, I apologize for the moment there, but I thank West Virginia Black Excellence again for just considering me to be a trailblazer. And I honor all of the other nominees for your accomplishments that clearly are inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much just for being transparent, Mr. Harding. And I just want to thank you for all that you've done in the courtroom. I want to thank you for all that you do in the community. And it doesn't go unrecognized. And our hearts truly go out to you as this is your first Mother's Day where your mom is in heaven. Our prayers go out to you. One of my favorite scriptures in the Bible comes out of the book of Proverbs, chapter 14. And it says that a wise woman builds her house, and the foolish teareth it down with her own hands. And I know that most of us on this Zoom meeting on today are a product of a wise woman. And we just want to take this time out to celebrate the mothers who are on this Zoom today, as well as the mothers for all of those represented on this Zoom on today. Thank you. I have the opportunity to acknowledge a Trailblazer. He was unable to make it on the call on today. He had a family emergency and texted me right before it was time to open up. But Pastor Watts is one of a person that I hold dear in my heart. I have listened to him on the radio for decades and decades. And when I became a mother, I haven't been a mother I have no biological children. I'm an adoptive mother, and I started out being a foster mother. And I remember I had taken an infant in, and I took that infant in out of the kindness of my heart, not that I had the resources to really take care of this baby. And I remember reaching out to Pastor Watts and his organization for help, and they helped me. So I just thank Pastor Watts in his absence for all that he's done in the Charleston community over the years. But Reverend Matthew J. Watts is a native of Mount Hope, West Virginia, and has served as the senior pastor of Grace Bible Church in Charleston, West Virginia since 1993. Prior to that, he worked as an engineer and a small business consultant. In 1997, he established the Hope Community Development Corporation, a nonprofit organization with the mission of empowering the inner city through spiritual renewal, education, employment and training, economic development, and comprehensive community revitalization of the west side of Charleston. Reverend Watts is recognized as a community leader who understands the importance of economic development to the empowerment of the African American community. He is the recipient of numerous community and national awards for his work with youth and the community. Reverend Watts has been instrumental in shaping policy to improve education, workforce development, housing, juvenile justice, and prison reform for the citizens of West Virginia. He has been married to his wife, Pamela, since 1980, and they have 5 adult children and 11 grandchildren. Reverend Watts and Pamela reside on 3rd Avenue on the west side of Charleston, and it is my privilege to present him this award, as well as accept the award in his honor. But I'm sorry that he could not be here today.
Thank you so much, Mickey.
You're
And
welcome.
again, we, in his absence, we do still appreciate all that he's accomplished and all that he's given to the community. So next, I also have the honor of presenting the next Trailblazer Award to Mr. Hollis Lewis. So Mr. Hollis is from Charleston, West Virginia. He went to West Virginia State University, where he played and received a bachelor's, he played football and received a bachelor's of science in criminal justice. Thereafter, he entered law school at Southern University Law Center in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Upon graduating from law school, Hollis returned to Charleston and held several positions before being appointed Kanawha County Magistrate by then Chief Circuit Judge Joanna Tabbitt. With his appointment, Hollis became the first Black male and second Black person to hold the position. Currently, Hollis works for Bailey and Glasser Law Firm. He is an adjunct professor at West Virginia State University and is on the West Virginia Parole Board. In addition to his employment, Hollis sits on several boards, including Daymark and Community Works, is a volunteer football coach, and a member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Hollis is married to his beautiful wife, the former 2021-2022 Mrs. West Virginia America, who just happens to be one of our panelists today, our Miss Beautiful Dr. Lewis, and they have 4 daughters. So again, it's my pleasure to present the next Trailblazer Award to Mr. Hollis Lewis.
Good evening, good afternoon. I want to, can you guys see me? Okay. Thank you for this great award. Again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers on this call. We definitely want to celebrate y'all this weekend and particularly tomorrow. And again, it's an honor to be celebrated in this manner, particularly with guys like William Hardy. He was one of him and Rico and Frank Walker was some of the legal professional guys that I looked up to growing up, in addition to some of my athletic heroes. So it's definitely an honor to be on a celebrated today with Mr. Hardy. And when I think about kind of what you're doing, Tracy, and y'all's panel and West Virginia Black Excellence, I love the idea that we can give back, that we can come back and celebrate persons from and in our hometowns who are doing great things. We have to realize that we're not an island. We are all interconnected. This feels like a family reunion more than anything else. and I just love our generation. I think somebody mentioned it earlier, like what is the previous generation always asks what the next generation are doing. And I just feel like our generation is so special, not only because of what we've been able to accomplish in spite of, going through the crack era, going through 9/11 and all this financial crisis, COVID and everything else. But just the fact that we all stay connected and we celebrate one another. And like my friend Don Wilson, we grew up together. He owns Capital Insurance. He always says success is about proximity. And if we're all stay connected and we can all grow that way, then we'll all find success, not only from our own merit, but also the relationships that we have with one another. So, like I said, it's just an honor to be connected in this way and connected through West Virginia State college, university. Mr. Bob Thompson, and we see other people on here who are, we're all alumni of that great institution, which I owe who I am from that. So just to be connected in this variety of ways is just a special thing. And like I said, I just want to thank Tracy, and I want to thank West Virginia Black Excellence just for honoring me and giving me this award. It means more than you know to be celebrated by your own. It really does. And I just hope that we can continue this. And like I said, anything that I can do, please let me know. And you will have my full attention and my full support in any endeavor that we want to move this thing forward to. So again, I want to wish everybody, all the mothers, the grandmothers, and the foster mothers, and the aunties that's mothers, happy Mother's Day. And thank you for this special award.
Thank you, Brother Hollis. I appreciate that. And congratulations on your award. Next, I have the honor of presenting none other than Joey O. Jr., the Trailblazer Award recipient for this year. His daughter last year won a scholarship, so it's only timely that he is being honored today. For those of you who don't know Joey, I don't know how you could not know him or have heard about him. He is was a Dunbar native, grew up in Dunbar, was a mentor to people like me and my friends. And if you went to West Virginia State or were around West Virginia State, as Hollis Lewis talked about proximity from Don Taco, it's all about proximity. He was Mr. West Virginia State in so many different ways, how he served the university, the college, through president after president, student after student. Everyone knew who he was, and he stood in the gap for so many different students. We celebrate him today. Unfortunately, during his untimely death last year, he's no longer with us, but his legacy definitely lives on. A little bit about Joey. I think he was born in Wheeling, went to Dunbar High School where they won a state championship. He went to State College, got a bachelor's in, I believe, business administration, went to Marshall, got a master's degree with me in 1999 in leadership studies, and he continued on serving state, married to Monique and her 2 daughters, and then his son, I believe Sean, also and lives in Charleston. I believe he was a nurse. His daughters are still in school. It's just so much of an impact he's had on my life. And I don't want to talk too much because I'm still emotional, but it's still raw to me. And I'm sure it's raw to many other people, including his wife and his mother and his family. So I proudly present Joey Oden for the Trailblazer Award recipient of 2022. And I believe accepting the award is either Joy or Jera Oden. So one of you, I can't see anybody because I'm on full screen. So one of you want to step in and accept and say a couple words, I would appreciate it.
Well, I guess it's me. My dad would be really proud and be really grateful for this award with this panel and these people on the panel. He said to me that Miss Ellis saved his life one time. He'd be eternally grateful for this. To the kids that are going to college, he would tell you that procrastination is not your friend and it's not the 13th grade. So now's the time to develop good habits and prepare for the new time in your life that you were about to embark, the new journey in your life that you were about to embark on. So thank you to the panel for thinking of him and honoring him with this award. Thank you.
I'd like to just echo what Joy said. Jera is not able to be on the call because she's still away at school, and we thank the Black Excellence Committee for recognizing her last year. Again, we thank you for recognizing Joey. We still, this is still very raw to us. I'm sorry.
We're with you. We're with you.
I know he cared deeply about
many of you that are on this panel. And again, Tracy, we'd like to thank you for the Black Excellence Award and giving you the vision to do this. And again, we appreciate you recognizing Joey.
Malik, and I just want to personally you thanking me, but I just want to thank you all for sharing Joey with us. Not many people know, some do, some don't. Joey gave me my first career job. So he invested in me, and I'm trying not to be emotional. And I remember my last conversation with Joey, the last thing he said to me, and it resonates with me every morning when I wake up, is he said, keep shining. And so I say this to everybody that represents Joey's legacy. On tough days, on long days, when you fail, when you succeed, just keep shining to keep his legacy alive. But thank you, Monique. Thank you to the entire family for lending Joey to us. We sincerely appreciate you, and we will make him proud, because you had to make him proud. Don't have him out here looking crazy in these streets. We will make him proud.
He would be proud.
Thank you. And I believe I'm turning it over to
Erica's
Erica.
up next. Yep.
Okay, I have the honor and the privilege to introduce our next Trailblazer, which is Lakeisha Barron Brown. Lakeisha is someone I've known since high school and someone I definitely admire. I admire her strength, I admire her tenacity, and I definitely admire her sisterhood. So I'm going to share a little bit about Lakeisha, I'm sorry. Lakeisha Barron Brown is a native of Detroit, Michigan, but she has lived in Charleston, West Virginia most of her life. She received her high school diploma from South Charleston High School in 1994. After graduation, Ms. Barron Brown attended Marshall University, which she obtained a Bachelor of Arts in Criminal Justice, Corrections, and a Master's of Art in Correctional Counseling. She is a devoted mother, grandmother, and a community advocate for the citizens of Charleston, particularly the youth. Lakeisha has an extensive professional background with providing therapeutic services to the substance abuse population. In 2013, she was hired by West Virginia Supreme Court of Appeals to serve as the probation officer for the Putnam County Adult Drug Court, a newly created program within the Putnam County area. As Lakeisha has enjoyed working with substance abuse population, she recognized that her true passion was working with youth. Lakeisha currently works as the program manager, College Links at Inroads. The position allows Lakeisha the opportunity to help foster personal education and leadership development skills among traditionally underserved minority high school students. On October 26, 2021, Lakeisha lost her son, 21-year-old, to COVID-19. And since his passing, she has found strength in serving her community through her grief. She has made it a mission to educate the community on COVID awareness and the importance of getting vaccinated. She also authored a self-help journal entitled Loss of Self, Turning Sorrow into Service. Lakeisha recognizes that her strength to survive is a guiding force to inspiring and uplifting others. She has also made it her personal mission to keep her son's name alive in Charleston by continuing his vision with the Jungle, a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. On July 3rd, 2022, she will host the Jungle 3-on-3 tournament on Community Day. Proceeds from the event will go towards establishing an honor donor fund in her son's name. Lakeisha is well known in Charleston area as well as in West Virginia. In 2020, she was selected to officiate the WVSSAC Girls Basketball Stair Tournament. Not only was it an honor for she has been chosen, but she made history as being the first African-American woman to ever officiate a WVSSAC Girls Basketball Tournament. Alongside of making history as the first African-American woman, the three-person crew was also African-American, which too had never occurred in the state of West Virginia. Lakeisha Van Brown, we honor you as a trailblazer and as a community advocate.
Thank you all. First, I must say thank you to God. Thank you to the West Virginia Black Excellence for allowing me this opportunity. As it was stated, I graduated from South Charleston High School. I came to South Charleston in 11th grade. So many of those that are in front of us, I did not know until that time. So thank you for believing in me, and thank you for still encouraging me to be who I am. Oftentimes, especially this year, I've been acknowledged on many different platforms, and most of the time I've been surprised, as I was this time. And the reason why I'm surprised is because I just do what God asked me to do. I'm just an ordinary person who just believes in God, and God guides me. And so when I receive things like this, I'm thankful, but I'm humble. I'm very humble to be here amongst others who have spoken today, those who have guided me as well. Miss Ellis, I read her bio and I saw Songaree on there. And I remember participating in the Songaree when I was a young kid on the west side of Charleston. And then I had the honor of then being in STARS, students taking a stance against drugs. And so I'm thankful. I'm trying to hold back my tears for many different reasons. As it was stated, losing my son has not been easy, but it's humbled me, it's guided me, and I'm surviving. Many times I'm asked if I'm okay. And I tell people I'm not, but I'm surviving, because that's the most important thing. The most important thing is to be able to survive, to give back to those who oftentimes tell me that I'm inspiring them. Sometimes I don't take that easy. But what I've learned in this triumph in the last 6 months is that if my outer inspiration gives other people the guidance to get up every day and to make a difference in their life, then I will continue to work on myself on the inside. So again, I sit here. No one knows what this weekend has been like for me. I laugh, and I'm sure Kawana can laugh too. I'm actually supposed to be in Texas right now with Kawana. But my flight didn't allow for me to do so. So I got up this morning, I drove to Columbus, and I literally sat in my seat at 1:40 and turned this on. So this is God. This is not me. This is God allowed me to be here with you all. So again, I thank you. I look forward to continuing the work in Charleston, West Virginia, but I look forward to continuing to work wherever God lies my foot to be. So anything I can do to continue the mission of West Virginia Black Excellence, whether it be here in the state of West Virginia or wherever you all need our foot to lie, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Again, I'm just doing the work of God. I'm not doing the work of Keisha. So thank you all for this honor. Thank you to be amongst those who sit here. Thank you to my classmates at South Charleston High School for allowing me this opportunity to continue to give back to the citizens of West Virginia. Thank you.
Thank you, Lakeisha, for turning your pain into ministry. You know, turning your pain into ministry. We certainly appreciate you, and we look forward to the amazing things. This is just the beginning, sis, of what is coming. The amazing things of what is coming. So next we have the honor of presenting the Kelvin KJ Taylor Scholarship. And so we do this a little bit different. I'm trying to get my words together. KJ was a representation of youth gone too early. Such a bright and amazing young man. And we honor him, and we honor his family by honoring his legacy. And if you can go to the next slide for me, I just want to read the words of his mother and father, Kelvin Sr. and Tara Taylor. They said, "Thank you for honoring our son, KJ Taylor, by creating a scholarship in his name. KJ loved all and helped the new kids in school, his friends that were special needs, classmates, and teammates. Our hope is this scholarship will bless a student like KJ to pursue education after high school, become a college graduate, and create a positive influence in the community. The love and support from the community for our son is so appreciated. Long live KJ and all the goodness KJ had for his friends and those he touched to pursue their dreams. So in honor of KJ's legacy, what we do is a little different. So our scholarships, which you will see a little bit later, are to rising high school seniors. But the KJ scholarship is about a leader who we have featured today, which is you, Miss Lakeisha. I know you didn't know this. We choose a leader out of our Trailblazers who will pick someone from the community who is in need, and they will endow that scholarship of $500 to that community leader. Last year's award recipient went to Jamel Clater. That started out as a $250 seed and it ballooned to $1,000. So Lakeisha, it is up to you now to find a deserving youth, a deserving family, or someone that can benefit from the Kelvin KJ Taylor 2022 scholarship. So thank you, Lakeisha. You haven't got rid of us yet.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
Oh, go ahead, Jennifer. I'm sorry.
So while we are in the portion of our program in giving, I have the honor of discussing and talking about and introducing our scholarships for this year. But before that, just wanted to show you guys our recipients that we spoke about earlier in the program from 2021. I believe we have a slide there that lists them. So Frankie, if you could. Okay, there's a part of the group that was there. Tracy had the opportunity to present the scholarship to majority of them at the, what's it called there? Where were you? The Multifest, yes, I'm sorry, at the Multifest last year. But this is a listing of our recipients that we were blessed and honored to be able to award scholarship in the amount of $500 to last year. And one of those, you will recognize that name, other than Jara. We spoke of Jara, which was Joey's daughter, but also Miss Ricky Kellum. She also is a part of our panel discussion this year. And so we were excited to have her and thank her for taking the time to give back to her community while she is attending Tennessee State University. So just to proceed, this year, we had the honor of 5 students, Uprising High School graduating students to apply. And we were really blown away by their essay. Because just to go back a little bit, in the application process is they are to submit an essay and they also submit a video. And then our board, we go through, we review those and we make a selection based off of that. And so we want to thank each and every applicant. We have Manaya Hunt from North Marion High School, Lazaria Jackson from South Charleston High School, Elijah Poor from Capital, Tatiana Tolliver from Capital, and Miss Jada Witcher from South Charleston. And so we are pleased and honored that you guys applied. We thank you guys and we appreciate you all taking the time to do that. And so without further ado, we are pleased to announce that we will be awarding a $500 scholarship to each one of the students that applied. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Tracy, majority of them are on, with the exception of Elijah, right? And Lazaria's mom. So if each one of you guys, Manaya, if you could just take a moment and just come off mute, introduce yourself, let us know where you're going to school and what area of study you plan to do while you're there.
All right. Hello, I am Manaya Hunt, and I am from Fairmont, West Virginia. And I plan on going to West Virginia State and majoring in nursing and hoping to eventually become a midwife.
Awesome, awesome. and just want everybody to know, we knew she, she was going to state. We're not picking her because most of us graduated from state, but it was a plus. Next, we have Miss Lazaria Jackson, and I believe she is not on today, but her mom is on.
I don't know if you guys can see me, but can you hear me?
We can see and hear you, Tess.
Oh, hey, everyone. I want to say thank you all for awarding my daughter the scholarship. Right now, she's currently a coach for a 14s team with a travel volleyball club, and she's at a tournament right now. So that's why I'm sitting in for her, but she'll be more than excited and happy to receive this scholarship from you guys so that she can continue. She'll be attending Tennessee State University this fall, and she's going to be majoring in athletic training, and she wants to get a certification in massage therapy. So she'll be happy. I'm proud of her. I'm thankful to you guys as well as she is, and I congratulate all the winners here today. Thank you again.
Thank you, Taz. Okay, I know I saw earlier, but I'm not sure if Elijah Poor is still on. I know he had to get off. If not, we can proceed. Okay.
Hey, my name is Elijah Poor. Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna go to Tennessee State, and I'm planning on majoring in business and marketing to open up my own shoe business.
Oh, awesome. We all like shoes. Okay, next up, Miss Tatiana Tolliver, if you're on.
Hello. Thank you guys so much. It's such an honor to be on call with all of you. I apologize that I am not on camera. I'm currently getting ready for prom, but I plan to attend Washington University in St. Louis. I am majoring in philosophical law and policy. From there, I hope to further my education in law school and become a civil rights lawyer.
Oh, awesome. Okay, and then finally, last but definitely not least, Miss Jada Witcher.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Hello, my name is Jada Witcher. I'm a graduating senior from South Charleston High School, and I will be majoring in computer engineering, and I'm going to WV Tech. And I also want to thank West Virginia Black Excellence for giving me the scholarship.
Thank you, guys. And so it seems as though the area of study that you guys are all going in, there were panelists that represent those markets. And so I would encourage you guys to really take note and reach out. I believe Dr. Lewis had mentioned before, that was part of her nugget that she left, was for you guys to reach out to folks and ask them, to mentor you or just to bounce ideas off of them. So I really would encourage you guys to really, I know we are recording the call and I'm sure we'll send it out, but really reach out to those panelists that are on there that are already working in the fields in which you wish to go into. And so again, all of the applicants that applied this year will be receiving a $500 scholarship. That scholarship will be sent out to them the week of August the 1st. So I'm sure Miss Tracy Palmer will be in touch with you guys to ensure that we have the correct mailing address and all of those things. But again, thank you guys so much, and good luck to you guys in the fall. And without any further ado, I guess I'm going to turn it over to Miss Tasha.
Thank you, Jennifer. So you can go to the next slide. Okay, so I'll be talking and discussing our donors. We just want to thank you all for your contributions. As you can see, the names listed: Akila Cunningham, Miss Betty Spencer, Mr. Dwight Palmer Photography, Web Development, Miss Erica Boxley, the family of Kelvin KJ Taylor, Mr. Frankie Walker Law, Miss Jennifer Davis, Miss Lakeisha Barron Brown, Miss Mickey Owens, the Reese Hawken Bryson family, Miss Shamika Johnson, Smoot Ave, and Tiana Carter. Next slide. We do want to acknowledge that the Janice Reese Corbett Scholarship was funded for Miss Lazaria Jackson, who is
not on the call, but her mother spoke for her, Tashina, who we call Taz. So we want to acknowledge that family for providing that. We go to the next slide. Now the call to action. This is what someone was asking in the chat. How can you be a benefit to the West Virginia Black Excellence? We've all enjoyed this conversation from the panel, all the scholarship recipients from this year and last year. There's 4 ways. Action number 1, you can become a West Virginia Black Excellence mentor or mentee. Number 2, you can donate to the West Virginia Black Excellence, purchase a West Virginia Black Excellence t-shirt, which you see most of the West Virginia Black Excellence board members are wearing today under their blazer. Or you can go to our website to find out more information to purchase that t-shirt. Action number 3, join West Virginia Black Excellence Facebook group page. And action number 4, subscribe to the updates at westvirginiablackexcellence.org. And we want to give a special shout out to all of those who purchased t-shirts last year. The slide that you can see on your screen now, and if you want to purchase a t-shirt, you can go to www.westvirginiablackexcellence.org. 100% of the t-shirt proceeds are going towards scholarship funds. 2 shirts are currently at the price of $15. So if you would like one of these nice t-shirts that say West Virginia Black Excellence with the crown symbol on it, go to our website. We are on CashApp and PayPal, and that information is being put into the chat.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Tasha. Thank you. You can go to the next slide. I just want to take the time, first of all, to just thank the West Virginia Black Excellence Advisory Board members. Listen, we are a board that 100% give. So we're not just on here as talking heads. Each one of the board members give of their time, their talent, and their treasure. So they have donated as well as the donations that you've seen listed. But I just want to give a shout out individually to Erica, to Jennifer, to Mickey, to Latasha, and to Frankie for all of your efforts. Again, y'all, you know, they say at church, you know, change jingles, I think, but, you know, and cash crumples, but we need cash to keep this thing going. We want to be able next year to double, then quadruple the year after the number of scholarship recipients that we can give to, but we need your help. And again, if you can't give of a monetary donation, we need your time. So it's about time, talent, and treasures. If you're interested in helping in any way, go onto our website, westvirginiablackexcellence.org. You can either subscribe to be a mentor or mentee, or you can go into our donate link and donate funds, or you can purchase a t-shirt. 100% of all t-shirt proceeds go back into the scholarship. But again, we thank you for your time, your talent, and your treasures today. We hope that you have benefited from this program. And we hope, if nothing else, that you walk away knowing that West Virginia does generate legacy and leadership. And again, somebody said it's about proximity. The leaders and the knowledge is around you. We just have to ask for help. We have to humble ourselves, and we have to share our failures as well as our successes. Again, I am Tracy Palmer, founder of West Virginia Black Excellence. Thank you again for your time. We will be sharing the recording of this replay if you would like to just share it with your friends. But again, thank you again for your time, your talent, and your treasures from West Virginia Black Excellence and the Advisory Board. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Palmer.
Thank you.
Appreciate this.
Thank you all.
Hey, Tracy.
Yeah, I'm still on. Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, again, we appreciate you a lot. I was really humbled by the words of the scholarship recipients, and we all been there trying to pursue our dreams, and it's also good to get a little help. So I omitted to become a donor earlier, but we're not going to let that pass. My understanding is that there was 5 students, correct, Tracy?
Yes, there's 5 students, and then the 6 is the KJ scholarship.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to, I know that you awarded them $500 a piece, but the law offices of William H. Harding, we're going to double that. So I'll send you a check on Monday and make sure they have $1,000 because I understand obviously with school and the cost and all that stuff, but we're definitely inspired and we're grateful for all the contributions that so many on this panel and on your advisory board has given to us, and we want to pass that on. So we'll send that to you. You have my number. Tell me what, let me know what we need to do, but we're going to send that $2,500 to you so that we can make sure that we keep things going. Matter of fact, it'll be 3,000 because we want to make sure KJ's included in there. Wonderful guy.
Awesome.
And,
thank you so much. And first of all, thank you for being vulnerable enough to share about your mom. Second of all, thank you for sharing your time to come on here. But even more importantly, and this is thankless work, this is grassroots work. So what your contribution, y'all know I'm I rarely without words, will go so far. So thank you for just trusting us, because that's the big thing. Relationships are key, but it's trust in relationship. Trusting us enough to pay it forward. So thank you again. And I'll definitely be forwarding my contact information so you can.
Absolutely. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it.
All right, good to see you, Frank. We'll talk.
You too, man.
My man.
I was doing the audio, but yeah, we'll definitely talk. I didn't get a chance to catch up with people.
Tracy
I see
and
Keisha,
everyone.
I see everybody. Yes,
Keisha,
I see all my classmates.
everybody.
I work for Bill. Bill gave me my job. Intern. Yeah.
Hey, appreciate you, Frank. It's so good to see you.
Yeah,
I
you
will
too.
talk
Catch up.
to you, Tracy, later.
Okay.
Love you, Miss Ellis.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Awesome job, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Cousin
you.
Valerie, wasn't it? That sounded like Cousin Valerie's voice.
That's me, baby. I'll be in touch as well.
Okay.
We're going to donate as well. God bless.
Awesome.
Keeping the panel on, then I'll cut the recording off.
Say it again,
Tracy,
Frankie. I didn't
You
hear
want
you.
the panel to stay on? I mean, not the panel, but the advisory board to stay on. I'll cut the recording off.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Chris, I'll call you.
Okay.